how are we gonna like start these off?
I was wondering that.
First day.
We have arrived at Dragon
Hey
Con.
everybody, welcome to a Dragon Con update.
Yeah.
Day
All nice
one.
and let's all talk
Dragon
very
Con's
sultry.
log. This is like pre-con, you know.
Yeah.
This
Well,
is like
kind
the
of.
Much is.
yeah.
So yeah, we just got to like today, Thursday.
Yep.
Drove all the way here, and not a lot. Like nothing happened. Like the con hasn't started yet.
Nah, we just stood in a line.
Well, this guy didn't.
I mean, like when
Yeah.
we were getting it.
I picked up
like,
my
that
tickets
whole
at will
mess.
call. These guys were like pre-registration.
Oh, I thought
so.
you guys were talking like as we were
I was
driving
like-
up there, the thing that happened.
With,
thing?
Oh, the thing about the truck blowing up. That thing?
Oh,
I mean, there was a truck
Yeah.
that blew up. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Right.
the truck blew up. Like it's
Before we
charred
knew
remains.
that,
Oh,
before we knew
Bryce
that was
had
the
to
case,
do
what
that.
Bryce had to
Hey
do.
guys, we
Yeah,
didn't
well, Bryce-
introduce ourselves.
Oh,
Let's introduce ourselves. Hey
yeah.
guys.
Okay.
So let's
I've
go
been
down
on
the
one of
line.
these.
Yeah,
here.
because I'm new to.
Yeah, I'm Scott.
I'm Bryce.
I'm Josh.
Jackson.
Trenton.
There you go.
Yep.
So yeah, there's a
Okay,
truck that
everyone down
exploded.
that
Let's get-
Yeah, it's remains.
Oh, right before that though, we'll talk about Bryce having a piece.
Okay.
Of that.
I have some
Great.
footage of this, and I'll probably.
Oh,
edit it.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
So what happened is the traffic was backed up like crazy because of the exploding truck.
Which we didn't know what the case
Which-
was, but
yeah.
it went over like multiple bounds of hills. At
Yeah,
least
it was
3 or
like
4.
it was yeah, it
And
was
around a
really
curve.
long.
Yeah,
But anyway,
yeah.
before we even got to the stop traffic, I just kind of leaned up and said to Josh, I was like, okay, don't hate me, but I really need to pee. And he was like, okay. So then we were like, okay, well, next place we can stop, we can. And then, like, literally
we
maybe
hit an
a
hour
minute.
or more of traffic.
Yeah, maybe a minute after I said that.
Traffic.
Traffic.
All the way backed
everywhere.
up as far as the eye can see.
We
And-
were moving slightly, but it was like at maybe
Snail pace.
between stopping and 5 miles per hour the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Bryce, meanwhile, still having to pee, and we go over like we wanted him to like go as soon as we thought of like Bryce. Bryce was like, I'm gonna go out. I have to run, go to these woods, and just pee.
Yeah, there were
But
woods
he-
like right beside
Yeah.
us.
But he
So-
told him wanted to run to the other side of the highway.
I told him to run to the other side because all of traffic was on our side and not on the
And
other side.
not a lot of people could see him.
Yeah, and not a lot of
Yeah,
people could see
yeah.
him. And then, of course, we went over a bridge, so we had to wait till we were over the bridge before Bryce could do anything.
Because, no trees.
No trees
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And then we had like a bunch of woods. I'm like, get out.
Yeah, because it was
that
like the
way,
little
we
metal
saved.
bar on the side and then like an instant drop. It's like,
Yep.
Yeah.
not
That
there
would've
either.
sucked.
So, yeah, and then Bryce... I guess we decided to...
Yeah,
he
everybody
decided to
kind of
run for it.
ejected me. Everybody was like, okay, go down, Bryce, come on, go!
My friend had
So
a
he
need,
ran
and
in-
I provided the solution for it.
Running in
get
front
out of my
a
car.
truck or whatever.
There you go.
I mean, Bryce was in the middle, so it's
Oh,
not like
yeah.
it's not like he had easy access to the
He had
doors
the
that
middle
he could
seat the
run
whole
out,
time.
Yeah.
It was
which isn't actually a seat.
It's,
either.
it's
like
like,
it's in between
bump.
It's the
seats.
space between
The bump,
seats. Like
yeah.
he's sitting on the
It's a
crack.
crevasse
Yeah,
with
there's-
a belt.
yeah, there is a
Yeah.
seat belt, but there's also a metal bar in my back and one running underneath me, so...
So
Yeah.
that was comfortable.
See, your comfort isn't my concern. Your safety is.
So,
Have a belt.
and especially, people make irrational decisions when they have to go to the bathroom. So we need
Yeah.
to get that taken care of as soon as possible.
Because I didn't want my car filled
Because
with...
Bryce is the
Yeah.
backseat driver, where as soon as he
just
sees...
with brakes.
Just with brakes.
Just
Okay.
He was like, brakes! I've seen his hands go
Okay,
out, too.
but
I don't-
only
alright.
when the brake lights are on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know
on
what
that.
I think I have a problem. Because if we're coming up on slowed traffic, I don't say anything. But if we're accelerating and I see that there are people with brakes on in front of us, it doesn't matter if they're like, 10 feet in front of us or, half a mile in front of us. If I see that traffic is slowing down, I will
There's
say,
brake
brakes.
He did this multiple times, where
Yep,
he would,
it
because
was-
he's in the
yeah.
middle,
It was
so
pretty funny,
there's no
actually.
space in between the driver and the passenger like that. So he'll jut his arms out and be like, brake, and then Josh is like, I know how to drive a car, Bryce.
So back to him having to pee.
Yeah,
Now
so
get him out of the car.
yes.
We throw him out and he runs in front of the truck.
Yeah,
Right
there
up
was
here,
like
and
a
then runs into
stop
the woods.
semi right
Yeah.
beside us.
So he runs in front of that and jumps into the woods.
As soon as he leaves the van,
Yeah.
the traffic picks up.
starts to move
There we go.
pretty smoothly.
Yeah.
So I get the idea. I'm like, we have to move lanes so we can get him easier.
You have to
Yeah.
get over.
Meanwhile, this is the first time Bryce has ever seen the van that we're taking.
Yeah, I've never seen this band.
Yeah, that's right, because the first time we've ever met.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in person.
Yeah.
This is the first time we've actually been. Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Everyone's in the same room.
So
Yeah.
so I get out, right? I went to the woods, did my business. I come back onto the road.
So what the spider?
And there's
The spider that made eye contact with you, like,
Oh yeah, the spider you ran into.
it took me at least 3 days to build this web.
And you just ran right through it. You destroyed my home for your basic human need.
yeah. As soon as I got far enough into the woods, I was like, okay, I'm good. And then I turned to go, and then spider web. I was like,
watching your every move.
But
Things are just
Yeah,
not
that's-
working out for
Anyway,
Bryce.
so
Yeah.
I get that all taken care of. I run back out onto the side of the road. There's a semi just pulled up right in front of me. So I take off into a dead sprint. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep in
How
mind
that family that you passed.
Yeah, I'm just this guy.
contact with you.
Okay.
Like, random Maine came out of
He
the
just
woods.
he emerges from the woods and just dashes.
The people that saw Bryce get out of the car are
With
now
a family.
way ahead.
And
Yeah,
they're
because,
like a
because
family
traffic is
as well.
zooming.
Yeah, so the traffic
the
that
ones
saw me
that's-
walk out, they had not seen me go into the woods. So now I'm sprinting
A
down
new
the side
set
of
of
the highway.
cars had come out.
And so
to see
they have
Bryce.
no idea where this
Yeah.
man
Did you
came
sprint
from.
from
I just
this
sprinted out of the
family?
woods.
Imagine being that family, like, okay, traffic's
Okay.
bad enough, we'll just sit here, kids. Because, like, what is that? You
Mom,
see random
it's a
guy
man.
run out of the woods, like, looking for stuff,
Monkey
all
man.
suspicious.
So, yeah.
So I sprinted down, right? And I'm headed towards. I'm still thinking they're in the other lane, so I'm not
Oh,
looking in
yeah,
the near
yeah.
lane. So I'm looking in the far lane. And I'm just like, oh man, they're gonna be right up here somewhere. They have to be. Oh, they're still not here yet. I'm gonna keep sprinting. And so
And then
I'm
we
just
And
see
then
going.
Scott opens the door.
Bryce.
That's
We just
Bryce.
open the door and practically pull him in.
Yeah, Bryce runs past the door, but sees that it's opening, so he kind of stops, and he's like, "Okay, this is the car. This is it." And then he run. Yeah, it was.
It
crazy.
felt pretty much like a getaway card from a
Yeah.
we just pull off some sort of heist,
Except
and
for we weren't
exactly.
going in
we're like
afterwards.
drive.
Exactly,
Except
and
for
we
when
do
you know
have footage
traffic.
of it
Yeah.
We do.
that we will show right now.
This is happening. Open the door. Oh my gosh. Open the door. Bryce. Open the door. Open the door. Open the door. Get in. Oh my gosh.
Okay, mission accomplished. I think I scared the trucker when I came out of the woods.
Yeah, so that's Bryce being an idiot, but I mean
That
at
was
least-
even before we got to the convention or our hotel.
Or
I
even the
had to
burning
pee,
truck.
and I
for
was
that
not
matter.
gonna. I was
yeah.
not gonna make you guys suffer through me peeing in a bottle.
Yeah,
there were many times where people were like, "I have a bottle."
Because I had a big Mountain Dew bottle.
Because a lot of
I
people
was-
had to pee.
I was like, first of all, I don't want to do that in front of you guys. And second of all, I don't think you want me to do that in front of you.
too, so don't even.
I had to pee, but I know how to hold
Even
it.
if I didn't see him, the
Well, I
sound
can't
of what was happening would still
Be,
disturb me.
no.
I'm like, that's
No,
happening.
thanks.
So you could probably smell it.
Okay.
Let's not go there. Let's
That was
just
okay.
not.
Let's move on.
Let's not.
So that was
let's
what happened on the
discuss
trip
con
up.
and-
No,
yeah.
let's-
you skipped the burning truck.
There was a burning
With
truck.
Yeah, well,
that's
Like
that's
a 10
it.
I think it was. That's
Yeah, it was-
yeah,
I couldn't even
All
tell
that
what it
left-
was.
All that was left was just
The charred
That's
front.
just what
charred-
caused
yeah,
just tons of traffic.
Yeah, just
But-
metal, charred metal. There
Everywhere.
was nothing else
Yeah,
remaining.
Pretty much.
And then from there on, like, it was just
straight.
really
smooth
open
sailing,
roads.
straight.
Yep.
Smooth sailing.
This is nice, actually.
But then when we got to here, the con,
Yeah.
we had to go through a really long line to get our, official passes and
Honestly,
everything.
it wasn't that bad.
No, it was a long line. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Like in terms of how many people, not like
Yeah,
a
it was
long
a
line
long
in terms
line.
of wait. It was
Yeah.
a super long line in terms of people, but it zoomed by really.
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah, that's why they
And
do all
what
the
you had to say,
pre-registration
you,
stuff.
Yeah.
like every 5 seconds you told somebody like, so about these lines.
All right,
Yeah.
so to get to the back of the line, you have to.
That
go,
was the
you have
longest
to
part.
It was at
circle
least 3 or 4
around.
corners that
Yeah.
we
You
had
have
to
to
go
like
around.
circle. Like you could have just gone like this way, but they made us go all
all
the way
around the building.
And then even inside the building, it kind of does this little snake thing. Just
Yeah,
so
oh,
there's
yeah,
like
because I
But
thought-
that's for after.
Yeah.
Yes.
So as Bryce filmed everybody.
yeah.
Yeah,
the
so we
full-
should
the-
have
Are we gonna
like
put that?
a-
Are we gonna put that footage?
We're not gonna
on
do
here?
this here. We're gonna do
No,
like a
no.
final
Something
like
of a thing.
this is
Oh,
Okay, like a
okay,
rap
so like
track.
drag.
Yeah, people were
like a
dressed up like it was-
montage. Gotcha.
it was
It was really
awesome.
hot.
It was.
And like to
There's
be
some
dressed
hot
to be
girls.
dressed up on just the day where nothing is
Same.
happening and you're just getting your passes and everything.
There was a lot of
That's
people dressed
commitment or stupidity. I'm not sure which one.
I mean, maybe these
But
people
was there
just
something
had.
going out? Was there something else going on that today?
There are some
I
things
thought
going
there
on
was
Thursday, but
something.
my thing is, if they're thinking like me, I didn't want to get to the convention, have it officially open tomorrow, and have to stand through a line
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to start my day off. I have my badge. We can go right into
Right,
the
but why were they
convention.
Yeah.
dressed up today? is
But
what
then-
we're saying.
Oh, just for
If there's like
support.
something
Oh, yeah.
tonight or whatever, I thought
mean,
there
yeah,
was
it was pretty
something
cool.
going on tonight for the convention.
Yeah. I
Oh,
mean,
there was?
Kind of deal. I thought there was.
There's some things. I'm not
Yeah.
exactly sure what it was.
Right.
Yeah,
But
we
yeah,
just
some
skipped
people.
them
I mean, like
to
me,
the-
I wore my armor, the gauntlet into Lowe's just because. So some people, I mean, because they cosplay just
More
for a
than
living.
once.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
they
mean, we
just-
already had our pictures taken
Yeah.
for the giant hammer
As soon
and
as
the
we
gun.
got into the hotel.
Yeah.
Some
we
of the
just
workers
carrying
were like,
props
"Flower
into the
jacket."
hotel.
We're
Can
not
we
even
take a
in
picture
our.
with your
None
hammer?
of us are in our like
I know.
full costumes.
No.
we're
It's-
just carrying our stuff.
And
up.
then they
I don't
Oh,
even know.
my
I don't even know
God.
why. They didn't even know what was going on here. I don't think
No.
that they were aware
They
that
did.
Dragon Con was happening.
Like
Yeah,
they
they
asked about it.
I don't even know if they know what Dragon Con is.
No, they
really.
did.
Yeah,
They did.
yeah, they
Because
did.
as
Yeah,
soon as
because they were just like, "Oh, that's going on
Soon
this
as-
weekend
yeah.
or
Oh.
something." So
we're like, yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
maybe they're
Because
like business
most of
people.
Atlanta should
Yeah, they were
know
like-
of this big of a
Yeah.
thing going on
Yeah.
yearly.
That's
So
true, yeah.
the line
Just
to get
don't
your
know
pass
when.
was incredibly long, and so we walked all this long line, and we
Forever.
finally got to the back of it, and it moves pretty quickly. But you still see people walking to get to the back of the line, and so trying to be friendly, was trying to come up with some small talk.
It wasn't really creative.
No, it was
You said the word line. You just said the
one
word
big line
lines
was line.
over and over.
I literally was just like, so lines, right?
And then there's this husband and wife or boyfriend girlfriend. The girl thought it was funny. She's like, "Oh man,
But this
you're
guy
too much." The guy
looked at me with
he
death
was hot
eyes.
and sweaty, and he was like the whole time walking
like,
up
"This
the incline
guy."
and just stared at Scott for a good solid 2-3 seconds.
I was about to get killed.
You probably
Yeah.
were.
No, I mean, I was just
If there
trying to
weren't
offer a
tons
little
of
bit of
witnesses.
support because everyone was like, people were like trudging up this hill
because you have to go to the end and then walk that whole thing
Yeah,
back.
That's why I think back was better because it was all downhill.
Yeah, so people are walking up this hill to get to the back of the line where they will walk
to
down
realize
that
that they have
same
to
hill.
go right.
Yeah.
And so I'm just offering support, like, yeah, I believe in you, you got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so when we came inside
Yeah.
was when the craziness happened,
Yeah.
and you weren't there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
'cause
you
we
were
had- we
right.
had-
I
separate
picked up my
tracks to follow.
I
We-
picked up my tickets at the will call booth, and they had theirs at the pre-registration.
It was
booth.
color-coded.
Mine was pretty fast. I mean, it took me like all of 3 minutes just to get up there.
Even though he
And
wasn't
then-
pre-registered, he got
Yeah.
through faster than us.
Well, he was pre-registered.
He
He,
was
just didn't have his
pre-registered, he
blue
didn't have the
postcard.
blue
I just
They
did
had to print off
because-
the
yeah.
email receipt that I got.
So
But yeah, so we were in separate lines. Our lines, obviously, our
Took
line
forever.
was much longer.
Yeah.
And so there was like
Kinda
this
boring for me,
snake
really.
kind of
And there was
pattern, right?
one big fan off in the corner, like
Yes.
the back corner where you started.
Well,
in
I
the
think there
line.
was
It was hot.
two.
'Cause it
There
was really hot.
two because there was one.
There was one at the other end. too.
one
Alright, well, either way,
started and
that's
then
the
Either
reason.
way, those fans are what people based their logic on.
Yep.
For
Not
Just
air
the people like
conditioning.
right around our
Just
vicinity.
around
like
us.
3
Lucky
people
us.
in front of us.
So we get these. So how the lines are set up, right? It's these metal bars that go in kind of like a snaking pattern, right?
And it has curtains.
And it has curtains that
Like
kind of
long
separate
curtains.
those areas. Yeah, that drape down from
Yeah.
it and separate, the lines and everything.
So like to help people so they don't just like crawl through or something
Right.
like that.
But the
And
people's
so-
logic was, oh, let's open these and let the air
Yes,
the
flow
air
through.
the
flow.
people in front of us were-
because tons of feet covering the same direction isn't going to do anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
air
well-
doesn't circulate.
yeah.
And it wasn't like I don't know
It
about you
wasn't
guys. It
hot.
wasn't hot in that room. We
It
didn't
wasn't
really
hot.
air
It
to
was
sit
uncomfortable.
comfortable.
really.
Not at all.
I guess
Yeah.
maybe if you were wearing like a full, I don't know,
But see,
cosplay
but they
outfit
were
like
like-
wizard robes or something like that, I could imagine you'd be hot.
They were
Well, then
wearing
you're
like
just
what
an idiot
Josh
for
was
dressing
wearing.
up on
But
the
I
first
mean,
day
you know,
and
that's
something that-
you just.
Or just really committed.
But,
Yeah.
but they
Yeah,
were
I
wearing what
mean,
Josh
you
was
gotta
wearing.
suffer for your art, man.
That's all that's
if you're deep into cosplaying, you gotta suffer.
Well then,
for your
yeah.
art.
Well then,
Yeah.
at that point,
But they weren't
it's
even
your choice.
cosplaying.
Don't complain about
They
it.
weren't even
you know?
Yeah,
cosplaying.
pretty
They were
much.
just.
Which the people in costumes weren't. These
No,
were just
people in
no, these were
No,
normal
jeans.
people just complaining about how hot it was, even though
and
it
saying
wasn't
like,
fine.
"Join the cause."
Yeah,
and all
so
that
what
stuff.
they would do
But there
is
was
they
like
would-
5 people in front of us,
Yeah.
5 or 6 people. In
So
front
what they
of
would
us.
do is they would push
Open
the
the
curtains down to like the nearest
end.
bar,
Yeah.
right?
So they'd
that
be open.
they would be open, and
So
they
we
were
get the
just
idea
the
of
people in
storing-
front of us.
Yeah,
Because
Normally,
we didn't know that people were doing this the whole way. We just thought that there were like certain ones that were open. So we're like, OCD, I'm just gonna pull that
and
back.
So but once you
But
do
not
that
all
one-
of them were open anyways. to
That's
begin
what I'm
with.
saying.
Right,
That's
right.
what-
So
Which
we
is
just
why we cut
out.
we all were just like, oh, people just one person just maybe did that because they were bored and they just did it. So we were
There was
OCD.
one I passed. I'm
and then
like,
we
okay,
realized
whatever.
Yeah.
after like 3 snake turns around, we're like, this is
Uh-oh.
happening just in front of us.
Every single
the whole
time.
way.
And so once
So we
once
decided
you
to
move
start
it,
closing them.
yeah, once you close it, you have taken a stand and you can't go back on it because
Ever.
this started essentially a war.
Yes.
a
A
curtain
fun war. That's
war.
how I think we got to the line so
It's a
fast.
fun war
curtain
because everyone was laughing, but at the same time, everyone was
no,
getting
no.
There was some tugs
To
going
begin
on
with.
too.
tugs.
To begin with, that was making them really mad. And then they're like, okay, you know what? This isn't going to do anything anymore. We're going to keep on doing it just for the fun of it.
It entertained
Just
us through
bored.
the whole thing.
Yeah,
Instead
so
of just
the-
standing there in line
So
like.
it would basically
The war
be
became a friendly war.
yeah, and I
what happened.
believe that there were more people on our side than on
Oh,
theirs.
there were a lot
Yes.
The
Because
only people on this
people
that
were getting
in
mad at the
front
other
of
people.
us.
Let's be
And
honest.
since we were in a line like one right behind another, we were like push
Yeah,
it down
we were
as far
doing
as
a
we could,
push
and we would
so
just and
Josh
other
in the
people would
front
help out
push
too.
it down, I behind him would push it
Yeah.
down further just to
We
try
didn't even have to
close them
ask
off.
like join the cause. They're like, all right, cool. And they
Alright,
helped
cool.
us.
We're
They
doing
do
the
that.
same
We'd be like,
reason.
hey, can you get that? Some
We
people
were
would
the
just do it.
curtain heroes.
A lot of people,
heroes.
a lot of people were the same as us, where they were just OCD and they were just like, well, I just need to fix this because of
Yeah.
the rest of them.
Yeah.
And so they helped us out a lot. It was about like 3 to 4 people in front of us that was just
They kept closing or
Yeah.
opening it.
They kept
And the
opening
only things they said is just circulate the
Air
airflow.
circulation.
Airflow.
So
Airflow.
awful.
Airflow. Join the cause. Airflow.
Now
And
there
that
was
their
one
argument.
time I tried to close it, and then the girl in front of us grabbed it.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
there was some struggle
oh,
going on.
oh,
this is how
now-
intense
Like, this is happening.
was.
And then as
It's
soon as that
happening.
happened, I'm like, okay, no going back. Rip.
Yeah, dude, that was so funny. You were pulling it up, and then the girl was
She
pulling
just
it back the
stopped
other
it.
way.
I'm like,
You'd stop dead in your tracks, and you were just like, not letting go. Not
Like I have
letting
one
go.
good arm right
Not-
now. I'm not letting it go.
It's-
Like I'm
yeah.
winning this.
Yeah. So that was Curtain War
So,
2000.
here's-
That tells you
a
how
question.
exciting the registration.
Oh yeah, the
Here's a
lady
question.
right in front of us started too. It was just like right at the end of the line. She started, and she did the first time, and I grabbed the end because she was scooting in. I think it was this way, so I could have like scooted back. So I
Yeah.
just tipped the end so she couldn't scoot it. But then when she did again, I started to tip it, but she grabs the end first, then does it.
Yeah.
I'm like, ah, you did that.
There were
on
actually a
purpose."
few
Some foul
people.
play.
There were actually a few people I noticed that weren't really in the major group of us closing them and the other people opening them.
They were just doing
join,
whatever.
but they would open or close it by like that
a
much,
little
much,
just
just a
to throw
little bit.
everybody off, and everybody's like, ah, but it's
Just
open,
to
it's
kind
open,
of
it's
shake
closed.
things up a little bit.
So
Yeah,
we didn't
and
know
then they
really what to
just
do.
like,
We just like
something.
closed it anyways because we don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Maybe they just got too lazy. Maybe.
Yeah. So here's
Okay,
the main
that.
question: in the curtain war, would you be pro airflow or would you be pro OCD, make things nice and neat?
So
Yeah, leave
Close
leave
Yeah.
your
open.
comments.
Close
yeah,
up.
leave
Hashtag curtain wars.
Hashtag Curtain War. Leave
We're-
your answers in the comments
We
below.
are starting this. It,
Yeah,
And
it'll
if we
probably
do
happen
This is a
responses
thing.
too,
It'll probably happen every year
We're
now.
making this happen.
Just because we're here, it's gonna happen
because
to us.
we'll be there next year.
So look
Oh,
for
yeah.
us next year if you go, because
We're all for curtains
You
closed
can,
because
yes,
we're OCD.
yes.
Yes.
And
And it-
another argument that they had was, well, if they're all open, then you don't have to worry about OCD. And like, but it looks bad if they're all
I know.
open.
Then why
Yeah.
have curtains in the first place?
yeah, exactly. The
Yeah.
curtains are here to be closed.
The curtains-
That's-
But
and
we
it,
won.
it adds a nice
We
touch
won.
to it.
Yeah.
We won the war
Classy.
All right.
But
because we're behind.
yeah,
it.
eventually
Let's-
they ended up
so,
all
yeah.
being closed.
Yeah, let's
so-
go ahead and wrap
Yeah.
this up for
Okay.
today because literally
So
this
that
is all
was- that was
happened.
it.
Yeah, we
talked a lot
it's
about it.
really, I mean, it's really not that much.
Except for
I mean,
waiting for a bus forever, but that's
We'll,
it.
yeah, we'll be talking to you guys every day this week about stuff that we have,
It'll probably be more
panels that we went
interesting.
to,
Everything.
and things and all that jazz. So yeah, you
Coolest
can,
cosplays even probably.
yeah, maybe
that
even
we've
some
seen.
of that.
Yeah, we'll
so
definitely
yeah.
take lots of pictures and videos for NerdSync.
Because actually, I could say
Absolutely.
the coolest one I saw today is the Deadpool one.
Yes,
Just to start
That'll be
that
a cool
off.
video.
Ghostbusters.
It
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
Deadpool Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Deadpool
man.
Ghostbusters.
So
that was
see
you,
that later.
you can subscribe to NerdSync Productions below for more of these videos. Yeah, at
Yep.
one point
That's
below.
supposed to be using it on.
Actually, I believe it'd be over there.
It'd be over
there?
It's,
Over
it's,
there.
It's below this video.
You know where it is. You
Subscribe.
don't know where it is.
Big
Go
red
figure out
button
how to
that says
YouTube.
subscribe.
Our
Yeah.
viewers are smart enough.
Yeah.
We
you
trust
can you can like NerdSync Productions on Facebook and follow us
Yep.
on Twitter, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for more
Yep.
of this awesome stuff.
Yeah.
See you guys later.
Yeah.
All right.
That was
That's it.
ridiculous.
That's cool.